Hello everyone, this is Vaibhav Jain. I'm a chartered accountant and a certified life and a business coach. I'm making this small video about the PNB fraud that unearthed on 14th February 2018. This video I'm making in a very simple, lucid language so that everyone, even someone who does not come from the financial background, should understand what actually happened in the fraud and why is it called the biggest fraud of India till date. So, to make it very simple, what had actually happened is two employees of PNB, say Mr. A and Mr. B, what they did was they gave a guarantee to some branches of Indian Bank, which were Axis Bank and Allahabad Bank in Hong Kong, on behalf of PNB, saying that we will pay the money if Mr. Nirav Modi doesn't pay, and they said that you pay the money to the supplier of Nirav Modi in Hong Kong. So basically what happened is these two people, they represented PNB and they said that we take the guarantee of Mr. Nirav Modi and on behalf of PNB, and we ask you to pay the money to the supplier, and in case Nirav Modi is not able to pay, the PNB bank will pay the money to you. But what is the fraud here then? I mean, that is a very usual practice what they did. Then what is the fraud? So the fraud is that they did not do it in an authorized way. They did it in an unauthorized way, which was not even recorded in the books of the bank. So what exactly must have happened, and what is the possibility of this fraud happening again? So let us go into the details of the case. So what these people did was they made fake LOUs. LOU means letter of understanding. What is a letter of understanding? Letter of understanding is a letter that one bank issues to the other bank in a form of a guarantee, saying that to the bank number 2 that please you pay the money to the third party, and if our person is not able to pay the money to you, we will pay the money. In our case, the first party is say PNB, the second party is Nirav Modi, third party is the Axis Bank and the Allahabad Bank, and the fourth party is the supplier. So what happens in a LOU is this bank, which is an Indian bank, an Indian branch, tells this bank, which is situated outside the country. In our case, there is a branch of Axis Bank or the Allahabad Bank which are situated outside India. In our case, in Hong Kong. So Mr. Nirav Modi had actually bought some jewelry from a supplier in Hong Kong, and he was not able to pay them. So what he told PNB was to please give my guarantee. PNB gave the guarantee, or the letter of understanding, issued the letter of understanding to Axis and Allahabad Bank, saying that you guys pay to the supplier. In case after 3 months Nirav Modi doesn't pay you, we will pay you the money. And these were all fake letter of understandings. What does that mean? That means that there was no authorized letter issued by PNB. That means in case Nirav Modi defaults after 3 months, PNB will have to make the payment to Axis and Allahabad Bank. What is the amount of fraud? Well, it is the most shocking part. The amount of fraud in this case is 1,771.7 million dollars, or in INRs, which is 11,300 crore rupees. So this is the amount of fraud that has actually happened in this case. So how was this letter issued, and how did the other bank come to know? Generally, the LOU is issued by the bank 1 to the bank 2 using a SWIFT system. What is a SWIFT system? SWIFT is a interbank financial telecommunication tool which is used to send messages from one bank to the other bank. It is in a layman term, it is a WhatsApp for banks. What happens is bank number 1 will send a message to the bank number 2 saying that this is our LOU. This is our LOU. Bank number 2 will verify it, and on the basis of this LOU, they will give the money. They'll pay the money to the supplier. In this case, what happened? These two employees, they misused this SWIFT. The drawback of this SWIFT system with PNB was PNB uses a tool which is called Finacle, and SWIFT does not get recorded in Finacle. SWIFT completely overrides the Finacle tool. So whatever messages were sent, they were sent using the user ID and password of PNB bank, which these two people had using the SWIFT tool to the bank, and they did not record it in the core banking system of PNB, and therefore the banks did not come to know. These banks, they issued the money to supplier. Now they are saying that since SWIFT is a very safe tool and there has not been any case recorded in the SWIFT mechanism where because of SWIFT something might have happened, so nobody can doubt SWIFT. So there is a complete fraud, there's a complete mistake that we can clearly see from the bank's part. They did not control, and the entire control was given to these two employees. So what actually went wrong? What went wrong was that how this case got actually unearthed. How this case actually got unearthed was that on one of the cases, on to be very specific, on 16th January 2018, one of the firms of Nirav Modi, they went to the bank, they went to PNB asking for another LOU. Bank said that for this LOU we would need 100% cash margin. Unfortunately, this time these two employees who were guilty were not at the counter, or they were not found by this firm. So they asked somebody else, and that person says that we need 100% cash margin, which is a very usual practice for a bank to ask for a cash margin. Cash margin means that they'll ask the firm that we need margin from you. You deposit the money, we'll pay, and we'll ask the other person to pay. So this company said to the bank that no, we have been getting LOUs without depositing margin all this time. Now at that particular time, banks, the eyebrows raised, and it was like, how did you get the money? I mean, this is not even a practice that you can get money without margin. And then they started finding out things, and in those findings they realized that it has been happening that fake LOUs have been issued. Fake LOUs have been issued to branches of Axis Bank and Allahabad Bank, the branches which are there in Hong Kong, and the money actually went to them. Well, when they actually started investigating the fraud, they also found out that in many cases when the LOUs were issued, it was not just one LOU of 11,300 crores. There were many LOUs which were just in combined the amount comes to 11,300 crores. In many cases it was found that the money which was issued, it was not even issued for the purpose that is mentioned. So that means that the money was not always issued to suppliers. The money was also misused in some of the cases, which might have come back to Nirav Modi also. Now what now can happen? Now where will the money come from, and where has the money gone? The money has gone to all the places, right from suppliers to all the illegal means. And how will the money come back? Nobody knows. But what will happen to the banks? Axis Bank has yesterday come up saying that they have also offloaded the loan to someone else. Offloaded the loan means Axis Bank has sold the loan to some other company. Selling the loan means for Axis Bank it was an asset to have the power to recover money from PNB. Now they say that they have sold this asset to someone else in return of money. So that means that this loan has now transferred to that company to whom the bank must have sold the loan. So the impact, which looks like 11,300 crores, it is not just 11,300 crores, it is very deep roots. Everyone must be thinking how stupid of PNB to not be able to find this out. Is this the first time that PNB has done this? To our surprise, no, this is not the first time this has happened. PNB has been involved in many such cases in the past also. A very recent case was exactly 5 years ago in 2013, the summer of 2013, when the Winsome Group fraud was unearthed. And in that case, fraud worth 6,800 crores. Not actually a fraud, but liabilities worth 6,800 crores were actually put upon the banks, a consortium of banks. In that case, the Winsome Group company, which is a diamond dealer, he made a default of payment of 6,800 crores, and the guarantees were taken by Indian banks, out of which the biggest guarantee was taken by PNB of 1,800 crores, which is still something that PNB has not been able to recover. At that point also, PNB asked CBI to look into the case. The CBI till now is looking into the case. Some Mehta was involved in this case, and the CBI is still looking into the case, while these people are living lavishly in countries like Singapore, etc., and they are doing their own businesses while nobody can question them. So in this case, everybody is questioning what will happen to Nirav Modi. People say that he's in China or in Switzerland or in some other countries. Nobody knows when will he even come back to India. Nirav Modi, he is the 85th richest Indian, and it is not just Nirav Modi. Now CBI has started questioning Mehul Choksi also, which is his uncle, who is involved with companies like Gitanjali and Nakshatra. So this was the case in brief for you. Two employees fraudulently gives guarantee on behalf of the bank to some other bank. The other bank issues money to the supplier. The person for whom the guarantee was given, he backs out, and the guarantee comes from the bank, while these two employees have been suspended. Now let us see what CBI can do in this case, and what will happen to the money. This is for now. Please keep watching more videos, subscribe to the channel, and also like, share and comment. Thank you.